At times, does your position play look like this? But you'd rather have it look like this? Well, if you would, this video is for you.
Hey pool players, Ron here. Welcome once again to the Pool Student channel, and thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hey, today I want to expand on my last video. I want to talk about how to navigate the cue ball through traffic. One of my subscribers, Chris, asked just that question on the last video. I was showing you that just a little bit of tip movement on the cue ball would affect how that cue ball came off the cushion. Okay, now I'm going to show you that again today, but it's going to be quite different in that we're going to shoot this shot further out from the cushion, and we're going to pocket it cleanly into this pocket where there's a pocket reducer which necks this down to 3 5/8, and that's going to be more accurate in terms of showing us where the cue ball contacts the cushion, and then also how we can predict from that point where the cue ball will go with spin. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a stun shot. So let's do that. Now a stun shot is when we hit the cue ball dead center and we pocket the object ball straight into the pocket. We need to see where the ghost ball is, and from that point the true tangent line for this cue ball, which is going to go in this direction, will be at 90 degrees to this line. And a good way to see this is if you use your cue and look at the joint and line up the joint straight into the pocket, the cue will actually point to where the cue ball will end up going. So that's about where it's going to hit, somewhere over in here. So let's make the shot. Once again, pure stun. And notice that it hit about right there. I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and then it came right off and hit the second cushion and came out. So that is a stun shot. We must know how that travel path is. The next shot I'm going to hit is with top right spin. So this shot's going to be quite different, and I should see the cue ball hit somewhere short of where the stun shot ended up. So let's try that. Quite a bit short. It was right there. Almost like a full diamond, maybe 3/4 of a diamond. So register that. Now this next shot is going to be with inside spin. So where is that going to go? Now inside spin is going to be difficult for a lot of players because we have to kind of overcut it. And the reason I say that is because we're applying this inside spin, and when that comes to this object ball at the ghost ball position, it's going to want to gear affect that ball, and it's going to want to throw it short of the cut angle. So I want to almost like predict that I'm going to overcut just slightly. So let's see if we can do that. And see there, it hit right between. It hit right about here. So we've now got 3 shots which were from the first diamond to almost the middle diamond and then in the middle. So we need to know that. That's important. But the other part of this equation is understanding how the cue ball is going to react once it comes off the cushion. You saw the inside spin shot, actually killed on the rail and came out. It didn't come over to two rails and come out. So we need to understand how that can help us during a game situation. So now let's add some balls to the table. Okay, now I've added some blocker balls. And I'm going to try to come through this opening. There are actually two shots, but the first shot I want to just put some spin on the cue ball and get it to come in this opening and travel towards that shot. The next shot is going to be inside spin, but let's go ahead and do the outside spin first to see if I can get it to travel through here. Now I'm not going to have much outside spin at all because I know that if I hit center ball, I'll probably hit this ball. I just have to add a little bit of spin to change that shot line from here to here, and that spin will do that for me. Not much. We're talking about 1/8 of a tip. And there it is. The second shot is an inside spinner. Now remember how the tangent line will go in this direction with a stun shot? We do not want to hit this one hard, because if we hit it too hard, the cue ball is going to come in this direction and the inside spin will be going away from that shot too much, and we won't have a nice look at that shot. If we hit it with lighter speed, we should be able to come off this cushion somewhere here and roll in that direction and have almost a straight in shot. Not quite, but it'll be almost. See that? That's pretty close to straight. Now we're going to go ahead and hit the same shot, same inside spin, but I'm going to hit it with some pace so that we have some stun, which will take the cue ball in this direction. Let's see what that looks like. Not that I would want to do that, but I want to show you the difference of what we just saw to now. Let me get back on the mark. I see it was off. Okay, there we go. Did you see that? It kicked it way over here, and look, because of the speed, we used that stun and it took us away from what we were trying to do. Speed control is so huge when we're talking about spin off the cushion. Gotta know, like I say, the first part of this, what happens on these cut angles when we hit stun. Stun can mess us up, but it can also be our friend. So now, let's look at this. Let's look at a third option that I have not even covered, and that's the draw shot from this cut angle. Let's say that we have some balls that are in the way right here. So we can't even use our inside spin shot. If we do, we could be blocked out. So can we come back through this opening? Also, let's say that we got a ball right there. We can't come around like we just showed you. So I'm going to try to go into this corner, 1, 2, and come back through this opening and have a shot on that object ball over there. It's a bit risky because we draw it too much, we could scratch. So we've got to be careful of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a little low right. So now let's look at shots where we hit them wrong. So the first one is going to be just center ball. Let's get this ball out of there. We don't need these. We're going to hit center ball, and we know that it's going to come into these. So let's prove that. Just center ball. And sure enough, big difference. If we added that little bit of spin, we came off over here right through the opening. So we know that center ball will not work. See you guys, the beauty of this exercise by using these paper reinforcements, you guys. This is so helpful. You can shoot the shot over and over and apply different tip positions to understand this. Now, I just hit that center ball, but what happens if I hit it with more right spin than I know I need to shoot? So in other words, I know how to get it through here, about not even a half, a quarter of a tip, maybe even 1/8 of a tip of right spin. But what if I go a full half tip? I know I'm gonna hit that first ball. Let's watch. This would be a half a tip of right spin. See the difference? Came right into here and right into those balls. Now the other thing too that I want to cover, these are speed sensitive shots. So once again, if I hit that harder, what's going to happen? Test question, what's going to happen if I hit that ball harder, even with that spin? What's going to happen is the cue ball is going to come closer to this corner. I might be able to get away with it with that spin, because there again, it's going to follow the true tangent line further this way. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to clear this last ball, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to try to pop it with that same spin, get to come here and miss it. But let's see if we can do it. Half a tip. See that? I got it to go longer here, but there's no way I could get it to miss these balls. You gotta hit low in that case to come way over here, over two rails, and then it'll avoid hitting those balls. This is a great exercise. I make two great suggestions here. Get yourself a pocket reducer. The pocket reducer is not just so that you can be more accurate on your pocketing, but it's going to help you gain knowledge of how the cue ball is going to go to the cushion, and then once it's at the cushion with whatever spin you put on it, you're going to be able to adjust to avoid, like in this case, contact with these three balls. Just a systematic way to train your mind and your insight into how a cue ball travels, not only from the object ball once it's contacted, but also what it does when it gets to the cushion with the amount of spin that you applied. If you guys have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave them. I answer everything, you know that. And I'm hoping this is going to be very helpful to a lot of you. Another thing I'm adding here too is I'm going to be putting together a diagram to show you how much a quarter tip is, half tip is, and a full, I think I actually do a half tip, a full tip, and then a tip and a half of English and what that looks like on the cue ball. So once again, thanks for watching and keep on practicing.